This is a re-upload from my previous channel showing how Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are Freemasons taking part of the worldwide deception when it comes to the space program. Before breaking down the SpaceX hoax, the video footage of the supposed launch of that rocket that supposedly distributed 11 satellites in space. Complete farce. Let's break down Elon Musk, who heads SpaceX, of course. Understand he's part of the exclusive club of Freemasons, the so-called elite. Let's take a look at this article from the Business Insider from back in 2014. Takes a peek inside the super elite club that counts Elon Musk, James Cameron, and Buzz Aldrin as members. It's all going to make sense by the time I get to the actual footage and break it down. Just reading some of the text here. World history is full of secret clubs with elite members like the Skull and Bones, the Freemasons, and the Illuminati, shrouded in mystery. I'm not going to read the whole article. Basically, it talks about Jeff Bezos of Amazon. It talks about Buzz Aldrin, Neil Armstrong, James Cameron, and of course, SpaceX founder Elon Musk. Not only does this article state that Elon Musk is part of this club, he's going to show it with signs and symbols, and this is how the Masons communicate. Take a look from this Masonic encyclopedia, where it states, out of evil comes good. However, and the confusion of tongues gave rise to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. That's exactly what you see here. And this is the reference to the Skull and Bones Society that he's a part of. There's, of course, a skull, and here is the bones. And I'm going to show that logo, which is right here. I'm going to show other members as well. Skull and Bones 322. George Bush, former president. You can see the Skull and Bones here. Here is George Bush. I'm going to show his son and John Kerry as they were questioned about being members of Skull and Bones.
You both were members of Skull and Bones, a secret society at Yale. What does that tell us?
Not much, because it's a secret.
Is there a secret handshake? Is there a secret code?
I wish there were something secret I could manifest.
322, a secret number?
There are all kinds of secrets, Tim, but one...
You were both in Skull and Bones, the secret society.
It's so secret we can't talk about it.
What does that mean for America? The conspiracy theorists are going to go wild.
I'm sure they are. I don't know. I haven't seen the web.
Number 322?
And again, taking a look at the Skull and Bones logo, with of course the bones being an X itself. That's a representation of Satan. That's all going to make sense when I get to the heart of the matter when it comes to the SpaceX project, which is nothing more than a psyop, a hoax. Taking a look again at the X symbolism with Aleister Crowley, called the wickedest man in the world, the Beast himself. Mary J. Blige, who's just a puppet in the game. She's told to do this. Not saying she's an actual member. Here's Whitney Houston's funeral with someone in attendance doing the skull and crossbones, the X logo as well. There's some more puppets in the game. I am not saying all of them are members, but they're definitely puppets of the so-called elite, of Simon Cowell. You see Bam Margera, guy from Run DMC, Ozzy Osbourne. All puppets in the game doing the signs and symbols. I'm talking about Simon Cowell. Those that don't believe this all connects with Freemasonry, take a look at his jet ski. These Masons love to brag and love to show off their power, always in plain sight. And like I showed in that article before in the Business Insider, it stated James Cameron, the very famous movie director from Hollywood. And what do you see? With signs and symbols from his Aliens movie, one of the actors wearing a Masonic ring. Also mentioned in that article is Buzz Aldrin, of course, the famous astronaut who's never been in space. This is the Masonic ring, Masonic postcard with the symbol. Another person mentioned, of course, was Neil Armstrong. And you see the Masonic handshake. And understand all of these so-called Freemasons at the very top. I'm not talking about the Freemasons that you see at your local pub or the ones that go to your local lodges. Lower level Masons are deceived by the upper level Masons. These are more high-ranking Masons. You see at the top. You take a look at this image, and this is from CNN's website. It looks innocent enough with Neil Armstrong baking pizzas. But again, it's all about things hidden in plain sight, Easter eggs, as some might call it. What do you see right behind Neil Armstrong? This plaque, says, God is made up. Don't confuse me with facts. Also, another little Easter egg. You see the newspaper on the counter. Let's take a look at the close-up of it. What do you see? It says demon upside down. Satanists like to turn things upside down like it says in the Bible. Some might not believe this is, legit. There's a lot of fakery online. Oh, if it's on the internet, it must be true. Well, here you go. This photo is from CNN's official website. For the doubters out there, you can take a look at yourself. I included the URL, so again, you could take a look and you can analyze this photo for yourself if you don't believe me. Talking about players in the game, again, to make it on top of this world, you must be a Freemason. There is no other way. Take a look at Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, they love to brag and show who they are affiliated with in plain sight. With this buckle here. And of course, his father was a Nazi during World War II. And of course, the skull and bones with this Nazi here. Now another image of Arnold. Again, signs and symbols with this belt buckle. Where you're looking at him, you're not looking at the belt buckle. The skull and bones. Here's the Russian president. And you see the skull and bones ring. How clear can this be? Again, in the Masonic book, where it states signs and symbols. This is how they communicate, saying how they're aligned with those that run this world. Now here's Glenn Beck. I believe this is with his wife or his girlfriend, whatever the case. Again, in plain sight. They love to show off. What's the point of having power and having prestige unless you can, basically rub it in to those that understand? Most people see this and not understand the meaning. This is why I'm connecting the dots before I get to SpaceX, so people understand what is taking place. More signs and symbols in movies. We're trading places from back in 1981. You see the 322 hidden in plain sight, another Easter egg. And of course, from the very same movie, you get that clock pulling at 9/11. Again, from Trading Places from 1983 predictive programming. I've taken a look at more Freemasons in the game with George Miller, the famous director of the Mad Max series. And what do you see here? The X symbol again. So what I'm doing here, of course, is laying the foundation for the SpaceX. So, most people just show that footage and show the imagery and the hand signs. What I'm doing is basically laying the foundation so there's no confusion. People can understand where I'm coming from. Now again, with George Miller being the director of the Mad Max series, here's the third movie from that series called Beyond Thunderdome. What do you see hidden in plain sight? The Masonic sign. They're all Freemasons. Every single film director that you see, all these movies that are created are by Freemasons in Hollywood, without exception. So understand, again, going back in time with Confucius, where he states signs and symbols rule the world, not words nor laws. Now again, taking a look at Elon Musk, what do you see here? The famous one eye symbolism with basically one eye shaded out. This is the image of the one-eyed Antichrist, as I mentioned before. Where it says in the Bible, the Antichrist will survive a mortal wound. He'll be blinded in one eye. Now, taking a look here at Sting. Same exact thing, the one-eye symbolism. The Beatles as well. People might say this is just a coincidence. People want to believe everything in this world is random. It's not. It's by design. We're going to look at another image, of course, of Elon again. You see him wearing the Tesla shirt. Of course, a reference to his company and the band itself and the two lightning bolts and the world, the ball earth. Another deception. The two lightning bolts are from Luke chapter 10 verses 18 in the Bible, where Jesus said he beheld Satan falling from heaven as lightning. Now to set up SpaceX, I'm getting to that point, getting near, again with the hand signs of these Freemasons in the game. Donald Trump, Michelle Obama, Angela Merkel of Germany, Adolf Hitler, and so on. This is all going to make sense in a few minutes. Again, look at the Prophecy Club, a club of deceivers doing the Masonic hand sign. Taking a look at Bob Lazar, who's pushed the alien agenda with Area 51, another agent in place, as shown in this Illuminati card game from 1995. Nothing but a deep agent pushing the false alien agenda. Aliens do not exist. They are demons in disguise. That's all they are. Now getting on to SpaceX now and understanding, they're going to show a presentation before they show the actual launch. I'm going to include a link to the full video from SpaceX in the description box underneath the video. Before I go there, I want to show the signs and symbols with the employees of SpaceX discussing the project before the launch itself. And you're going to see the signs and symbols of the Freemasons. So again, you're going to understand why I covered all this with all the hand signs of Freemasonry before I show the actual SpaceX, which was nothing more than a hoax, a psyop, nothing more than a mass deception on the masses, making them believe that rockets actually work in space, in the vacuum of space, which it does not. I'm going to show some images here and cover it, and then we'll break it down as I go. Now I'm going to break down SpaceX itself, the employees doing the same Masonic hand signs. So again, people can connect the dots. Let's take a look at this video. Again, I'm going to include the entire video. It's approximately 45 minutes long in the description box below this video. So you can see all of it. I'm just going to basically break down segments. You can watch the rest at a later date or later time.
All systems are go for launch. You're on the job.
Payload deployed, Commander.
Welcome to the live webcast of the SpaceX launch of the Orbcomm mission from Launch Complex 40 out of Cape Canaveral, Florida. My name is Lauren Lyons.
She said her name is Lauren Lyons. Now taking a look at the Pythagorean numerology chart, which is the so-called elite work-off, and you'll see again Lauren Lyons. That's LL as in 33, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. That's why you come up with names such as in Superman, as in Lex Luthor, Lois Lane. In the music industry, you have LL Cool J. It's all about the occult.
I'm a mission integrator here at SpaceX, and I'm standing outside of mission control at our company headquarters here in Hawthorne, California. Today is not just any old launch for SpaceX. Today's launch represents a series of firsts for us. It's our first flight following our approximately 6-month hiatus following our June 28th anomaly.
Talking about the June 20th anomaly, this is basically trying to make it look legit, like their first mission failed, and they tried again and they succeeded. It looks more realistic when they do it this way, when they state they failed on their first attempt, then they make it on their second try. Again, just makes it look more realistic. If they succeeded in their first attempt, people would be pretty suspicious. With SpaceX, they have a number of commentators, basically a round table doing commentary, breaking down the stats, the specs of the supposed SpaceX. A bunch of young individuals. It kind of reminds me of Saved by the Bell. That's basically what it is, a bunch of Saved by the Bell rejects that they have as part of this roundtable. And again, you're going to see the Luciferian hand signs. It's going to be obvious with this guy right here. Just take a look, and I'll point him out.
The blackness of the beautiful night skies of Cape Canaveral, Florida, where
Cape Canaveral, that's another thing. Just like I pointed out with LL, with Lex Luthor, Lois Lane, LL Cool J, Cape Canaveral, again, taking a look at the numerology chart, you're going to have the same thing of 33. You get CC, 33, again, just like LL. And like I pointed out so many times, the highest degree in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, that's what it's all about. They love using initials, even events occurring on the 33rd parallel. Just like I've mentioned many times before, with the supposed UFO crash in Roswell, New Mexico, which just so happens to be on the 33rd parallel. Same thing when it comes to CNN and the news, it's located on the 33rd parallel as well. This past Super Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, on the 33rd parallel. The Pope's visit in 1987 on the 33rd parallel. The Phoenix Lights on the 33rd parallel. I can keep going on and on and on. To continue with the video, I'm talking about signs and symbols. You're going to see more here. As always, in plain sight, just take a look.
Cape Canaveral, Florida, where we're about to launch 11 Orbcomm satellites aboard our Falcon 9 rocket, standing tall and proud. I'm Michael Hammersley, a materials engineer here at SpaceX, and I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going on. The 11 Orbcomm satellites are sitting inside the...
And there you go, the devil horns in plain sight. If you think this is just a coincidence, just keep looking.
Inside the nose of the vehicle. Florida is the lightning capital of the United States.
And there you go. Talks about Florida being the lightning capital of the United States. And there you go with the Masonic hand sign. Of course, as I mentioned previously, lightning is a representation of Satan himself, with Luke chapter 10, verse 18, where it states in the Bible, Satan falling from heaven just like lightning. So people will understand now why I made that basic demonstration from the very start of this video. So people have a foundation to understand what's taking place. This is not by coincidence, all by design. People behind the scenes, they don't make it to this position unless they understand what they're doing, who they're serving, what the agenda is all about. Keep continuing with the video, and you'll see more of the same.
That it will cause... there we go. That's the plumes. It will vent...
There's another famous Masonic hand sign. Taking a look at M&M. What you see here, of course, right in plain sight as always. Like I said, signs and symbols rule this world. Taking a look at all the racial psyops. All the same signs. From the Trayvon Martin case to the Mike Brown case to the Walter Scott case. These are all Freemasons, all part of the world stage. What you see on TV is more or less just a movie. Nothing but propaganda, nothing but, in this case, divide and conquer. And with SpaceX, it's just a psyop, a hoax, just like NASA has perpetrated on the masses for so long, making people believe that rockets work in space. When they don't, there's no way rockets can work in the vacuum of space, period. Now let's continue with the video and show more signs and symbols with these Freemasons.
Vent and condense the atmosphere around it, just like when you're breathing out on a cold morning, you can see your breath. To the upper right of your...
Now pay close attention to what he says here. It says to your upper right, and he'll talk about the lower left.
To the upper right of your screen, you see a countdown clock, and follow us below on the mission progress bar to see where we are during launch.
Now this is a reference to the Masonic goat god named Baphomet. Taking a look at this image here. This is not, again, by coincidence, but by design. People that don't understand the occult, they're never going to get it. This is those behind the scenes. Understand when Katy Perry is doing this pose, this is not by coincidence. Again, take a look at some more images. Jack Nicholson here doing the same exact thing. If you still believe this is just a coincidence, take a look at Britney Spears. As above, so below. Selena Gomez, same thing, puppets in the game. I am not saying she's a Freemason, but definitely a puppet of those that are Freemasons that own and control this world. Taking a look at Lupe Fiasco. As above, so below reflection. The covering of one eye with the finger. The sign for the Antichrist. Again, you're going to see here Madonna, own variation of it. George Washington, of course, a famous Freemason, doing the same exact symbol. So people can see the connection with Freemasonry, and those that own and control this world are nothing more than Satanists. People believe this country was founded by Christians. Truth is the exact opposite. Now take a listen to the next presenter. Again, another reject from Saved by the Bell, reading off a script, and you're going to again hear a reference to Freemasonry with the highest degree of being 33 in the Scottish Rite. Just take a listen. Again, it's completely ridiculous with this SpaceX. For those that don't understand the occult, they'll have no understanding, and this will go right over their heads.
We're also going to talk a bit about the many upgrades we made to our Falcon 9 launch vehicle, which includes a 33% increase in the overall vehicle's performance.
Just so happens to be 33% increase in the vehicle's performance. What a coincidence. Give me a break. Can't see through this because you don't understand the occult, you don't understand Freemasonry, and the ones behind the scenes that operate and own and control this world. And again, showing Lauren Lyons, 33, doing the Masonic hand signs. How obvious can it be? Well, let's take a look at this clip here, presenting a person that's been doing interviews with the SpaceX employees. Just watch what he does.
I'm Tim Irvin from Wait But Watch.
There you go. And what is he doing? You have the reflection in the back. Understand about the so-called elite and their love for the mirror symbolism. This is all about duality and understanding why he has his arms spread out like this. This is, of course, a reference to Jesus Christ being crucified on the cross. Here's some images with other puppets in the game. Ozzy Osbourne putting the arms out. Same thing with the lead singer Trent Reznor of the group Nine Inch Nails. Understanding, not to get far off topic, basically Nine Inch Nails is a representation of the Roman nails that were used to crucify Christ. That's how you get the name 9 Inch Nails. And if you don't believe this man is a Satanist, just take a look at his shirt here. It says the Satanic Army. Again, understand, you will not make it on top of this world unless you sell out. It's that simple. Now, getting back to this geek, this sellout, let's take a look at him and one of the employees from SpaceX as they have a conversation basically. Understand the so-called elite, they like to use younger individuals because they understand the older crowd, they have already been programmed. You try to talk to someone that's older and tell them the moon landing is a hoax, 9/11 was an inside job, they will look at you, of course, like you're crazy. They're beyond hope. Can't teach an old dog new tricks for the most part. There are exceptions to the rules. What they're doing here is they want to reach the younger audience, and that's why they have these younger individuals pushing this complete garbage called SpaceX. And just another example of another presenter for SpaceX doing the Illuminati hand sign, basically sign of the Freemason 33rd degree of the Scottish Rite. Understand, this is exactly what's taking place. It's basically an upside down triangle, an inverted triangle that you see in this woman's hands here. And just like the previous presenter mentioning the 33% increase in performance, she shows a model and says the same exact thing. Again, just more mockery. Take a listen.
We also have a 33% increase to our performance.
It's taller. It's a longer rocket.
Right.
Now take a listen to this guy. Again, another presenter from SpaceX doing the exact same hand signs. Do not listen to a word these deceivers say. Just look at the signs and symbols.
Hi, my name is Trip Harris. I'm the manager of Falcon Recovery here at SpaceX. So right now we're standing on the landing pad. It's made of 282 feet in diameter worth of reinforced concrete. It's all designed to handle the loads of the rocket coming down and landing. One of Elon's stated goals is to bring down the cost of access to space.
And there you go. How obvious can it be? Another liar, another deceiver, all in the same club, showing that hand sign again. The inverted pyramid, the inverted triangle, all the same. I was about to show a demonstration of the Falcon 9 doing a landing on basically a aircraft carrier type of ship, which is completely ridiculous. What are the mechanisms for this supposed rocket to make a vertical landing? Basically a pencil with a thrust. What are the mechanisms to keep it stabilized if it goes off course to make it land straight? It's completely ridiculous how people buy this. Take a look.
Engine landing bird to do a
Joke.
soft touchdown. All of that happens between 6 and 10 minutes after launch, so it's pretty quick from the time we lift off to the time we land. I've always looked at what we're about to do here as one of those things that people will always remember where they were the first time they heard SpaceX landed a rocket.
Give me a break. Give me a break. Remember? Try to forget this garbage. Let's go back to this clown here, who's supposedly an outsider coming to SpaceX asking questions when he tells you with his hands that he's part of this SpaceX scam, hoax. How people can't see the obvious is beyond me. Take a listen to these phonies. Nothing but horrible actors pretending they're all excited, but they know this is nothing but a complete hoax, nothing but an illusion. That's all they give us. Take a listen and take a look. Cannot fake real. The only people that buy this have been indoctrinated in the system of lies. Take a listen.
And land on a shoebox on the ground in a windstorm. That's what happens. The critical part. Yeah, and I don't think I could throw a pencil over the Empire State Building and catch them. It's insane thing to try to do. And the crazy thing is, we're like 30 seconds away from this. From this crazy maneuver. This energetic room is a hush. Oh my God! Just getting the last
Here's the fake, phony show. Take a look at this garbage. Complete crap. They show the supposed rocket landing from this distance. All we see is a light. Complete garbage. Complete insult to anybody that has half a brain in their head. Keep on watching. You would think you're at a rock concert. What is this fake enthusiasm for this fake show? There you go with the hand signs again.
And I gave someone a jumping hug. This is hard to understand what a big moment this is. Every single space agency in the world is watching this.
Sure they are. Sure they're watching this. They're all Masons in the game. That includes Russia as well. Russia and the U.S. have always been allies. That fake beef. And people say, why won't Russia blow the whistle on the fake moon landing? Of course they won't. The world's a stage. Nothing but players playing the masses for fools.
You guys did. And it continues. It's going. And we just got confirmation we have a successful grid order for the second stage. We're making preparations to deploy the Orcom satellite. So we are on a novel trajectory for the second stage as well.
Two of the...
Now listen to this guy again. This is what you call duping the light. When he's discussing the launching of the supposed 11 shuttles. And take a listen to him carefully. Another reference to Freemasonry. That's all we get through this whole production.
11 Orbcomm Generation 2 satellites separating from the second stage of the Falcon 9 rocket. We have cameras for at least some of those deployments, and those will be coming along shortly.
Here's your duping the light. Why is he laughing? He knows it's a fake, phony show. Can't help but bust out laughing. He knows it's not real.
As
yeah, I mean laughing. I'm laughing too,
now
idiot.
the 11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers.
11 satellites are mated on 3 tiers, just like the 311 band. The 311 is a code for 33, with, of course, 3 times 11, 33. How many times have I said it? Signs and symbols rule this world. 11, 11, 11 is 33. Everything is in plain sight. If you don't understand the occult, it's going to go right over your head. I'm talking about those that have manipulated the masses. All Freemasons. They're all on the same page. Some are higher up, some are puppets, such as Ozzy Osbourne, lower on the totem pole. You have Darwin here, a Mason, Obama, Kerry, Clinton, Bush, all on the same page, playing the masses for fools. Just more signs and symbols. You see Angela Merkel, the Chancellor of Germany, doing the same hand signs. And here with Obama and Michelle, or better known as Michael, again with the same hand sign. How obvious can it be? People have been completely deceived. They are completely blinded by these so-called leaders. Nothing more than Luciferians playing you for fools. They make you believe that we came from apes, from monkeys, that we evolved to what we are today. What are we going to evolve into next? We have always been humans and always will be. Through the textbooks, through the lies of evolution, they make themselves gods by removing God. That's the whole point. When there's no gods, these are the only ones you have to look up to. They're nothing more than liars and manipulators. Now getting back the supposed SpaceX and that lie, let's take a look at the launch of the supposed 11 satellites into lower orbit. Nothing but CGI.
Spacecraft.
We have
garbage.
Visual confirmation of satellite deployment.
Fake, phony, horrible.
Mission is continuing to progress nominally.
These idiots probably
We
were
have 5
promised
more
a free
satellite
shirt,
separation events.
a free jacket, who knows what, just to clap at this fake, phony show.
Now,
Complete
the reason
rubbish.
that we're staggering these deployments is in order to allow the satellites to have some spacing to give them their proper location within
What's up with the way this guy folds his paper? Pretty interesting.
the constellation that's going to provide that continuous global coverage that Lauren was speaking about earlier.
Okay, I'm going to play some previous clips like I usually do so people can connect the dots. I'm going to play Amazon's Jeff Bezos' supposed launching of Blue Origin, which is basically as bad as SpaceX. I'll also play my video on satellites. Again, satellites are nothing but a hoax. Spaceflight is nothing but a hoax. Truth are lies, lies are truth in this world full of deception. I just saw the video of Blue Origin's rocket launch. It's a complete joke. Nothing but CGI fakery mixed with some real people interacting on the ground. But overall, nothing but garbage. And I already know what's going to happen with this entire project. Just like Virgin Galactic with Richard Branson, you're going to see a future failure of some sort. And they're going to have to abort the whole program. This is nothing but basically a psyop to make us believe it's possible to get in space. Since NASA's space program with the shuttle program is being over, they've got to continue the lie, and this time with these private companies. Take a look at the footage. Nothing but fakery, nothing but CGI. That's all they will give us.
Brake check good. Forward fin check good. Aft fin check good. LGS check good.
Ready for flight.
T-minus 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1. Ignition. And liftoff. Max Q. Main engine cut out.
Bunch of phonies.
CC detects separation.
She just said CC detects separation. And CC is code for 33. This is nothing more than a Masonic hoax, a psyop.
PM confirms separation.
Complete garbage, fakery, CGI. What is this crap? Nothing but garbage. You get excited over this? Just watching a video game. All you're watching.
Stroke parachute deploy. Main parachute deploy.
They do here. I'm not saying this is absolutely fake with the parachutes in this pod here. But, you know, this is how they do it. They edit parts of the film. Of course, all you saw was CGI in the beginning. They might, again, you know, had a parachute bring down this capsule. But nonetheless, this is complete garbage, complete fakery. And like I said, the end result is there's going to be some type of, you know, basically something that goes wrong. And they're going to have to scrap this entire program. This is what it's all about. This is NASA, you know, basically the shuttle missions are no longer happening. They got to keep the dream of space alive. And, you know, just a few seconds of the fake ball Earth with that CGI garbage that they showed us.
Touchdown.
PM's at 20,000 feet.
Now this is complete garbage here.
Estimate 10 seconds until engine restart.
How this thing comes straight down out of space and stays in position, doesn't, you know, wobble, and how it comes down for a perfect landing. It's a complete joke.
12,000 feet. 5,000 feet, engine starting. We have thrust.
Reminds me watching a movie.
LGS deploy.
Fake sound
feet,
effects.
7 feet per second.
And where's the, like I said, where's the amateur footage for this? You know, this Blue Origin project, you only get the footage directly from them. What about any amateur footage or any other people taking footage of this? Not buying it for a second.
Touchdown. Engine stop.
Fake CGI flames. Watching a movie. All right. fake, phony show. Now let's break down this footage with the supposed celebration after the Blue Origin landed. While everybody's focusing on the people celebrating this fake, phony celebration, just like this fake, phony rocket launch and landing, here's the issue. Where are the burnt marks from the thrust? There are none. And don't tell me they dragged the Blue Origin to this location to capture this footage for this celebration. Complete garbage. Again, this is all they can give us. Nothing but fakery. Take a look. There you go.
Perfect landing.
Yeah, perfect
made
landing.
history today.
Made history. Sure you did. All we get is this junk they give us. Complete propaganda. People see it. You know, anything on CNN that's provided by NASA or any of these big companies. Like I said, with Richard Branson, that project was scrapped. And the same thing's going to happen with this project. You're going to see something go wrong, and they're going to say we have to scrap the project. It's completely ridiculous. People believe the moon landing. Nearly 50 years later, this is all we get. You know, it's a complete joke. I'm going to show a little bit of a close-up. So you can see there's absolutely no residue from the supposed rocket thrusters. And again, taking a look at underneath the rocket, at the asphalt, you don't see any burn marks from the thruster rocket. All you see is basically shadows from this rocket itself. This basically nothing more than a prop. That's all it is. Complete fakery, complete garbage, 100% exposed. What's taking place reminds me with this scene from They Live with the Preacher Man, what he says. All that's taking place in this world with the government and the rich and powerful, which are recruited to take part in the deception that's taking place. All part of the Matrix. Take a listen. It's only a few seconds long. It completely adds up to what's taking place in this world.
They have recruited the rich and the powerful, and they have blinded us to the truth.
100% truth. Like I said so many times, truth in movies, lies in the news.
As the world turns.
This is a follow-up video to my last one showing the flat earth map in Back to the Future, the very opening scene. I'm going to also include a clip from the DuckTales opening showing how this is no coincidence. Those behind the scenes, how they love to mock even the children. First off, let's take a look at the very opening of Back to the Future. You can see the spinning planet right before the movie starts. Universal. You'll understand how this is part of conditioning. And then when they show the flat earth map, in this scene with Back to the Future, with the flat earth map, which I'll show more of from my previous video. The same thing with DuckTales. You clearly see behind the DuckTales logo, Disney, of course, Disney production, clearly see the flat earth map hidden in plain sight. Of course, like I said, it's obscured by the logo of DuckTales. When the older duck here appears in front, it's obscured, but it's there. This is how they do it. They put the ball earth in your face and they hide the truth all in plain sight. And now I'm going to play my previous video with Back to the Future showing the flat earth map. Then after that, I'm going to show a video with the connection with Disney and NASA, how they're all working together. When I first came across the flat earth topic, I've heard about it before. I just kind of brushed off to the side. Specifically with this Illuminati card game from 1995. I saw all the cards. I saw this one. I didn't give it much thought until I read this. People laugh, but the flat earthers know something. When I read that, that really got me thinking. That's what really got me into researching the topic. And of course, square they show here, when I first saw this, of course, it looks completely ridiculous. Until you really look into it, this is completely biblical. The circle within the square, right in front of you. Just they make it, like I said, they make it look ridiculous in the card game. People look at pictures, they don't read the text. Of course, we all know, we all should know, the moon landing was nothing but a hoax, and they show it here. It all makes sense when you think about it. And of course, the Illuminati card game give us many, many hints when it comes to this card game. Specifically this one here with the Joggers card, where it states no one ever suspects a harmless jogger. And then you see this scene here, of course, from the Boston smoke bomb from a few years back. Remember one thing, this woman is wearing green. What do you see here? A woman after the explosion wearing green throwing something, which possibly could have been the detonator that set this off. Maybe someone else set it off at a different location, and this was just all theater, but she was definitely part of the world stage for this scene. Unbelievable how these sick, twisted psychopaths, they're at the wheel, controlling society, and have so many people blinded. Getting back to the flat earth, I recently saw this scene on another channel on YouTube. I'm going to include the link in the description box below this video. It's from Back to the Future. And there's a scene here showing the flat earth at the very beginning of Back to the Future, where they show all the clocks. But taking a look at this scene, there's so much going on. And that's the whole purpose. Confusion. While you're paying attention, the dog food can with this contraction here, what do you see behind it? The flat earth. That's the flat earth model. Like always, hidden in plain sight. This tells you Steven Spielberg, Robert Zemeckis, they all know the earth is flat. Putting it right in your face. All of Hollywood, all these high-ranking Masons behind the scenes, they know it. And that's the exact reason they're called the Illuminati, the enlightened ones. They're the ones with the knowledge. And all of us are not supposed to have this knowledge. And if you do, you're mocked, you're ridiculed, made fun of, called crazy. But the unknowing sheep, they don't know we're actually telling them the truth. They're being mocked in all these movies. Like I've said many times, truth in movies and lies in the news. And taking a look at this scene from Journey Up to the Center of the Earth. And of course, I find that title interesting. Journey to the Center of the Earth. And what do you see on the wall? This is the flat earth map. Taking a closer look, have this the UN logo turned sideways. Of course, the UN logo is a flat earth model as well. I'll get more on that in a little bit. I turn the model sideways. As you can see on the flat earth model, this map, east coast of the US basically faces the west coast of Africa. That's exactly what you see here. And of course, again with the UN map, East US, eastern coast, and Africa. And I also find it interesting how the flat earth is mentioned in Men in Black, a movie based on basically alien invaders. And remember, with the whole flat earth concept, there's a dome over us. There's nothing beyond the firmament besides water and heavens above. People talk about UFOs, talk about reptilians from other worlds. Everything is within the firmament. These so-called aliens Nothing but demons. We're given false explanations for everything. So-called meteors are nothing more than falling stars. Everything is within, basically, the bubble we live in this earth. Take a listen at this propaganda film, like I said, about aliens and alien invasion, and they mock us, talking about the flat earth. One little segment, but this is used as a form of mockery.
A person is smart. People are dumb, panicky, dangerous animals, and you know it. 1,500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was the center of the universe. 500 years ago, everybody knew the Earth was flat.
And I find this scene interesting from Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner. And of course, the Thunderdome. Think about that for a second. When you hear thunder and it echoes, why does it echo? Because of course we live under a dome. The whole Thunderdome concept is based on the flat earth with the firmament above. Take a listen.
Welcome to another edition of Thunderdome!
Now this scene here with Dr. Dealgood, pay close attention to what he's wearing, entire outfit.
Listen on. Listen on. This is the truth of it. Fighting leads to killing, and killing gets to warring, and that was damn near the death of us all. Look at us now, busted up and everyone talking about hard rain. But we've learned, by the dust of them all, Bartertown's learned. Now when men get to fighting, it happens here.
And what do you see here? Again, a close-up of the Freemasonic, the square and the compass. Only goes to show those behind the scenes of these movies are Freemasons that are in the know, and again with the Thunderdome representing the firmament above us. Now as far as the music industry is concerned, same deal. Freemasons behind it as well. Thomas Dolby's well known for the song, "She Blinded Me with Science." They have blinded society with science. And he has a song called "The Earth is Flat," another form of mockery. And with this image with the Pope at the UN, well, everybody's looking at him, they're not looking above him. Again, the flat earth model for all to see. As I always state, they love to mock. With these two clips I'm about to play with Obama mentioning the Flat Earth Society, remember, he has script writers, people behind the scenes that are pulling the strings. Everything he's saying, there's no wasted motion. With him mentioning the flat earth, it's flat out mockery. Again, these are the so-called enlightened ones, and they love to mock. What's the point of having power, having all the riches, and not being able to flaunt it? And this is their way of flaunting their knowledge, all in plain sight.
They must have been founding members of the Flat Earth Society. They would not.
And these idiots in the back, they laugh, they smile. They don't know they're deceived. Deceived from birth to death. That's what they are.
Have believed that the world was round. You don't have time for a meeting of the Flat Earth Society.
And this is exactly how I sum it up best. Earth looks flat, tests flat, and measures flat. But they want it to be a ball. Exactly how it goes. People do not like to be told they've been lied to their entire lives. You know, they have a lot of pride in their knowledge, a lot of egos involved. They don't want to admit they've been wrong their entire lives, deceived. The truth pill is a very hard pill to swallow.
You're lost in smartass. I don't believe it.
And in case there are any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Mind control to Major Tom.
A very interesting find when it comes to Wernher von Braun, of course a former Nazi, and a huge part of NASA in the deception with the Saturn V rocket program. Just take a look at his tombstone, at his gravesite. And what do you see here? A Bible verse, Psalms 19:1. What does it say? The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Of course, the firmament is conceived in the Bible as a vast, solid dome. Why would NASA's head of rocketry, Wernher von Braun, going back in time, have this on his tombstone? Makes absolutely no sense. Of course, if he knows we live under a firmament, a dome, as a form of mockery, that's why they put this on his tombstone. Taking a look at some images as I shown before, supposed space shuttle launches, and you see this huge arch. Why is that? You would think it would go straight up, go right through the supposed atmosphere to go into space. This makes absolutely no sense. It only makes sense because we live under a dome, a firmament, as the Bible states. Now, taking a look at John F. Kennedy here with Wernher von Braun. I made videos about John F. Kennedy in the past. For all those people that think he's some type of hero, why did he promise that they would send a man to the moon before the end of the decade? If he was a true speaker, he would say, we can't get into space. There is a dome above us. But he's not going to say that. He's basically like an Alex Jones back in the 60s, mixing truth with lies. Understand, the first time he went off course and went against his handlers, he would have been yanked. He wouldn't continue to make speech after speech, supposedly exposing his handlers. I've covered his death hoax in the past. John F. Kennedy. Kennedy is 33 in numerology, by the way. Nothing but a deceiver. You need to understand how far the deception goes. The world is a stage. JFK with Wernher von Braun, two puppets in the game. I've made a lot of videos covering the flat earth. I've had some people come to my channel disputing the claims of a flat earth. Well, this is a challenge to all you out there that believe in the blue marble in space spinning at 1,000 miles an hour. I want evidence. I want you to make videos proving your case. Because your evidence of a blue marble spinning at 1,000 miles in space comes from these clowns. These Masons in the game with Walt Disney and Wernher von Braun, a former Nazi and then NASA head. And here's your evidence for your belief in the blue marble and planets outside of Earth's atmosphere, supposedly. To give you the first image of the supposed planet we live on. And what do? They put sex written in the clouds. People might say, well, you know, I've seen animal shapes and people's faces in the clouds, but you're not going to see letters, especially lined up in the clouds. I mean, if you have an S here, an E here, an X there, that'd be one thing. But what are the chances of sex being spelt out all together in a group? I mean, XES, ESX, but SEX all lined up? Give me a break. And with the supposed image of Pluto provided from NASA, and of course, I'm providing a link, the URL here, from space.com. This is an official supposed photo of Pluto. And what do you have? The planet Pluto and Pluto the dog from Disney. His face carved out in this image. All part of mockery by those that run this world, that to those that believe the lies. And for all the coincidence theorists out there that look at this and see how it just so happens to fit Pluto's face from Disney. You don't see the connection with Disney and NASA? How they're all working together? The sex symbolism here with Disney as well. Again, with Wernher von Braun and Disney. Two Masons in the game. These two have passed away, but they're carrying on the tradition with the mocking of the masses. And interesting enough, China supposedly landed on the moon back in 2013. It was barely covered by the mainstream media because it was so fake, it was so ridiculous. That's why if you talk to an average citizen that believes in the moon landing back in 1969, and you talk to them about this Chinese moon landing, they never heard about it. There's a good reason. Take a look at this footage. All you get is CGI effects. Nothing real about this, but people just lap it up. Now, what's filming this lunar lander from this aspect? What's filming it? Obviously all CGI, all fake garbage passed off to the masses, and they just lap it up. They're all clapping, watching a CGI video, a horrible one at that, and the masses again lap it up. This is your evidence that they landed on the moon. This is your evidence that they can get past God's firmament. Now listen here. After supposedly successfully laying that probe on the moon, what do you hear? You're going to hear a lot of laughing. In a real life situation, you're going to hear people happy, but not laughing like it's a big joke. This is mockery. These people from China's space know this is all fake. And this is just like duping the light. They're laughing over this because they know it's nothing but a big joke. With this meteorologist claiming the Chicago skyline being viewed all the way in Michigan, across Lake Michigan, is nothing more than a mirage. And we understand one simple thing. The whole foundation of the ball of earth is a lie. So everything after is a lie as well. And they have to continue the lie with sellouts such as this person here, playing a newsman, but nothing more than a paid propagandist. Now again, I already covered this in detail. I'm going to go and cover it in a little bit more detail with different views, different aspects. But first, I want to say I didn't play the whole video in my previous video. And in this one, we'll play the whole clip, and I'll go into a little bit more detail. Take a listen.
Until I found this photo, Grandmere State Park. This is from Joshua Nowicki, and what you're seeing here is a mirage. You typically would not be able to see this from the Lake Michigan shore. We talked about this last night. Conditions are right on the lake, that we're actually seeing a mirage of the Chicago skyline. Very interesting. Here's what's happening. This is a good example of a superior mirage. So Joshua was on the Lake Michigan shore. He was looking towards the west, and Chicago's beyond the horizon. Should not be able to see it. However, with the right conditions, we have an inversion. We have cold air near the cold lake water and some relatively warmer air above it. This will bend the image of that skyline back towards the viewer. And so typically we would not be able to see this. This image would be viewable from much, much higher in the sky, up in space. But instead, we're able to see it on the Lake Michigan shore. Very fascinating, and that's the same reason we're actually seeing this ring on the radar tonight as well. Because of the inversion, we call it atmospheric ducting, it's bending the radar rays back towards the ground. So even on a clear night, we have some interesting weather.
Now before I proceed with the video, this is a very important point I want to replay that the meteorologist says.
The horizon should not be able to see it. However, with the right conditions, we have an inversion. We have cold air.
Okay, he just stated, because of the horizon, the curvature basically, you shouldn't be able to see the Chicago skyline. Now taking a look at this photo provided by Joshua Nowicki, you can clearly see that this is no mirage. And I'll get into that in a little bit. I'll explain a superior mirage and how it looks like. And this is no superior mirage. Now understand, the distance from Chicago to Grandmere State Park in Stevensville, Michigan, it's 90 miles away. And they say over water it's 60 miles. Now understand one thing. With the supposed curvature of the earth, and at 60 miles, that will lead you to 2,400 feet behind the supposed horizon or the curvature. So the Sears Tower, also known as Willis Tower, being at 1,700 feet to the tip, the whole tower basically should be behind the horizon or the supposed curvature of the earth. And also he talks about the superior mirage. With superior mirages, the mirage is inverted. And I'm going to show some examples of that. With these photos, you can clearly see the inverted mirage. Again, more of the same. So again, when you look at this skyline, it's a complete insult for that meteorologist to call this a mirage. Nothing about this is a mirage, completely real. And also, to go along with the photo from Stevensville, Michigan, I found an additional photo from even further, a little bit further, at St. Joseph's. Found on this blog here. You can clearly see, again, the Chicago skyline all the way across Lake Michigan. And there was a dispute as far as the distance was concerned from Chicago to Michigan City, Indiana. And I want to clarify this. I might as well mention how it's been stated how the distance is driving miles. Now, from point A to point B across the lake, they say it's approximately 40 miles. So even if that's the case, with 40 miles, it's still over 1,000 feet, a little over 1,000 feet behind the supposed curvature. So in that case, you should only see the very tips of these few buildings over here. The lower ones shouldn't be in view at all. So clearly, again, doesn't add up with what the meteorologist is saying. And clearly, again, this is no mirage. And take a look at some more photos here from Michigan City, Indiana, and the views of the Chicago skyline. A couple more images. And again, I point this out with the people standing on the beach. You can clearly see these are not inverted buildings. Clearly, they're there. And again, the Chicago skyline. Just for reference. And again, another photo from Michigan City, Indiana. Clearly no mirage. Again, more of the same. So to me, with this video, this is probably the best proof, or one of the best proof, supporting the flat earth theory. With all the videos I'm making covering the flat earth lately, I'm getting a lot of questions about satellites. You know, this is their evidence that the earth is a ball. Now let's take a look at these images of these satellites. Do these look real to you? I want you people that talk about satellites all the time to show me a real image of a satellite. All you get are these CGI images, not a single real image of a satellite anywhere. Why is that? All we get is this fake garbage. You get a CGI satellite, you get a CGI planet, all bogus, 100%. So, for all you people coming to my channel, talking about satellites, make a video, produce real satellites. You can't do it because they don't exist. Period. Supposedly close to 3,000 satellites up in space. Again, all we get is this fake garbage. Now let's look at what ISS has to produce as far as real satellites. Get that fake garbage. You get this. All CGI, computer animated. Looks like a video game. Where are the satellites? You don't see any because they don't exist. Look at this. Wow. You believe this is real? If you believe this is real, you're going to believe every single lie NASA, the media, your government tells you. You've been completely blinded from birth. You believe everything you've been told your whole life. And any time someone questions an official story by your leaders, you get angry, you get upset, you get defensive. Because no one likes to be told they've been lied to their entire lives. But all you get, again, is computer-animated garbage. Your whole life is nothing but garbage. Now with the supposed live feed from the ISS, you get this bogus CGI satellite here. Where are all the rest of the satellites? Where are they? How can people see through this deception? You believe this is real? You gotta be kidding me. Again, complete mockery on the masses that take lies as truth and truth as lies. Now let's take a look at some photos supposedly from NASA of the ball Earth, the blue marble, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour in space. You believe these are real? All fake garbage. Again, how people can't see this? No clue. It's a waste of time arguing with these idiots that can't see their own two eyes. Unbelievable how the masses completely blinded by their masters. In a form of mockery with Hollywood, they're going to tell you the truth right in front of your face as form of mockery. Under the Dome, that TV show, it's exactly what we're living under, the dome. That's why all the images of Earth from space, all the fake satellite images, they're all fake. Why? They cannot get past the dome to take real images of Earth. That simple. So again, with these TV shows, such as the Big Bang Theory as well, they like to put the occult all in plain sight with these TV shows. And again, like I stated before, when you see a rainbow after it's done raining and the sky clears, what you get here are these water beads that act like a mirror that get a reflection from the dome that is above us. More of the same. That's a reflection. Again, the water acting as a mirror, a reflection of the dome above us. And I found this pretty interesting with the Sky Dome, another form of mockery with the name Sky Dome. It was built by IBI in Canada. What do you see? The upside down pentagram, right side up pentagram. The occult in plain sight. And this is their official website. Look it up yourself. I'll show some more images here from their website, giving the details about the Sky Dome. Now the occult with the Sky Dome. And what do you see here? The obelisk. Right outside. Again, all about the occult. All these large companies, to get their contracts, to be successful, they know their role. They know what they need to do. Just looking at some images here. More images. This is the one that's right in your face. You know, on their home page for the Sky Dome, this is their image. Again, with the occult in plain sight. Completely ridiculous how people can't see that those that rule this world worship Satan. Now, talking about Sky Dome, let's take a look here with The Simpsons. And of course, as I mentioned before, Matt Groening of The Simpsons. Being a Freemason, what does he have? They're going to put the Sky Dome in one of their episodes. And of course, more little occultic symbol here. They're all about the occult. Everyone that makes on top of this world, with no exception, they're part of the so-called Illuminati, the elite, all those that worship Satan. And some might ask, how does technology such as GPS and other technology that require satellites? It's very simple. All by ground towers, high-power ground towers, and under-ocean fiber optic cables. The most frequently asked question about the entire flat earth model that I get is about the sun and how it works on the flat earth. First off, like I always do, I have to lay the foundation before I even show any type of footage. This is the biblical flat earth with the sun and the moon and the stars within the firmament. We make it clear there are no planets. Planets do not exist. All we have is what you see here, like I mentioned, on the flat, fixed earth. Now taking a look at this photo across Lake Michigan with the Chicago skyline, like I mentioned before, this is approximately 60 miles over Lake Michigan with this photo, and these buildings should not be viewable due to the curvature of the earth, the supposed curvature of the earth. One thing to notice right off the bat, look how level the horizon is. On the supposed ball earth, this wouldn't be happening. Now people see the sun, they say, oh, the sun must be going around the ball of the earth, around the globe. And this isn't the case, and I'll explain that. What's taking place is just like this model here with these telephone poles called the vanishing point. As you can see, all these telephone poles are the same height, but due to perspective, the one closest appears taller than the rest. You go down the line, the one furthest away seems very small, but of course, again, they're all the same height. The same concept with the sun. It appears to disappear. Now let's take a look at more images here. The same basic concept with the vanishing point. Now, look at this fence. Look at this railroad track. The further you go, the more narrow it seems, and it disappears. Again, with the telephone poles, same thing. I showed this night and day flat earth model before, and how the sun moves clockwise around the flat earth. Of course, the earth is stationary. The sun moves just like the Bible states. Understand with this model, it's not to scale, of course. The sun is much smaller, approximately only 30 miles across. And some might say, oh, this is just a model. Doesn't mean anything. Let's see it in action. And here you go. And this is a time-lapse video of the sun from the view over Lake Michigan, looking towards Chicago, taking a look, and again how the sun circles the earth, going eastward, and you can clearly see how the light is localized right where the clouds are. If the sun was truly 93 million miles away, the entire sky would be illuminated. You're going to see how small the sun actually is, and again how the light is localized as it moves away, going east, just like the model I showed before. Let's take a look. You can clearly see that sun. You can see how that, like I said, that light, the light from the sun is localized right at this cloud. No way is this sun as large as we're told and as far as we're told. It's right in front of you. People need to unlearn what they have learned. This proves the sun is clearly under God's firmament. 100% clear as day. And there you go. There's the vanishing point as the sun circles the earth, just like in the model I showed earlier. Now taking a look at the moon at night, clearly see the clouds, and people have disputed me about this. Those are clearly the clouds behind the moon. I view this myself at night. I observe the skies very often. I've seen this with my own eyes. This is no illusion. Don't tell me that this moon is 238,000 miles away and you can see the clouds like this. There's no way. Not possible. Again, for even those that believe in the flat earth, they're disputing this. You understand. We're told you have to erase everything we're told in the schools, the history books. It's all lies. You've got to see things with new eyes to understand the entire concept. Everything we're told is the exact opposite of what it is. Now taking a look at Space.com's website, and you can just see by their logo with the Illuminati pyramid, you can tell who they are affiliated with. They work for those that are behind the scenes to deceive the masses. And reading the title for this article, why do planets look like stars in the night sky? Because that's exactly what they are. Again, planets do not exist. Everything is within the firmament. The size of the stars differ. So they're giving you false explanations of what you're actually seeing. Now let's look at their explanation of why these so-called planets shine like stars. States here, planets don't produce their own light. They reflect the light of the sun in the same way our moon reflects sunlight. This is complete garbage. If you believe these so-called planets that you see here are reflecting light to get this light, you're 100% deceived. These are nothing more than stars. And as the Bible states, the moon produces its own light as well. So you got more than one lie in this article. Basically everything they're telling you is a lie. Now taking a look at the very beginning of the Bible with Genesis 1:16, basically the creation of the world. And it states, and God made two great lights. The sun and the moon are two lights. The moon gives off its own light. That's what this refers to. Not a reflection from the sun on the moon to get light. The greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. Notice planets aren't mentioned, because planets do not exist. And clearly with these images, you can see how the moon creates its own light. Not a reflection from the sun. And more of the same, clearly its own light. Now take a look at the moon during the day. Why isn't the moon completely illuminated? It should be a full moon. There's nothing obstructing the sun and the moon. They're both in the sky at the same time. So what's the deal? Just further evidence that the moon produces its own light. The moon creates its own phases. It's that simple. Otherwise, this moon should be fully illuminated, with the sun and the moon again in the sky at the same time. Now here's something else to remember. With the moon and the sun in the same sky, what's the deal with the other side of the supposed globe? They're not getting a sun. They're not getting a moon. How does that work? It doesn't make sense. The sun and the moon are always above the flat earth. It's that simple. Now let's take a look at this footage supposedly provided by ISS. This is nothing more than CGI. Nothing more than a cartoon. Nothing about this is real. And this is what you base your belief that we live on a spinning ball. This is complete garbage. And what is this? This green barrier. Unbelievable how people can buy this. The masses, millions of people will watch this and they will say, isn't science amazing? Science is not amazing. It's just that you're stupid and you fall for this complete, utter garbage. Wake up. They can't get into space. Rockets don't work in space. ISS is a hoax. Stop believing in fairy tales. Your whole life's a lie. Everything you've been fed by the government, the schools, all lies. Time for you to wake up and stop living in this lie, this fantasy they have created for you, this matrix that you cannot break free from. Take a look. Wake up. People need to understand one simple thing. We all have been born into deception. 500 years ago, everybody believed the earth was flat. If you told someone the earth was round, you would be ridiculed. Now, it's the exact opposite. This is how those that control the world control the minds. And to end this video, I'm going to show this clip again with the sun circling the earth. And you'll see it disappear beyond the vanishing point. It's 3:34 Pacific Standard Time. You see the sun in the western sky. Let's pan over and take a look straight up at the eastern sky, and what do you see? There's your moon at 3:34. So what does the other side of the ball Earth get as far as the moon and the sun? They get absolutely nothing. It's absolute proof that the moon and the sun circle above the flat Earth, just like a clock. People always ask, what about falling over the edge? Understand, Antarctica is a huge ice ring that encompasses the flat Earth.
And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
I played this footage in a previous video showing night and day at the same time above the flat Earth. Someone made a comment on my video stating what's taking place here. So the Earth is not flat. It's just the sun behind the ball Earth. Now, if this is true, explain this. Where the sun is not visible, but you get the moonlight reflecting off the water. The moon is fully illuminated. You don't see any light, again, coming from the sun directly, according to the globe theory. Explain this for those that believe we live in a ball. Again, the sun is around the ball Earth. How do you get this? Explain this. This proves not only do we live on a flat Earth, but the Bible is true when it states that the moon gives off its own light. 100%, without a doubt, this video actually proves two things. That we live on a flat Earth, and the moon gives off its own light.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. In Cobain, can you hear the spheres singing songs off station to station?
Before showing the footage, one thing needs to be understood. I get asked daily, why does it matter if we live on a ball or a flat Earth? It's all about disproving the Bible. A ball Earth supports evolution, where a flat earth with a dome supports a crater. It's all about hiding God. So when you see a rainbow in the sky after it rains, you wonder why this happens. It's a reflection of the dome above us. And why does thunder echo? Again, it's because of the dome above us. I'm just taking a look at this image of the sun in the clouds. Do you really believe the sun is 93 million miles away? And you would get this perspective with the sun rays? Not possible. Now let's take a look at this footage here, which I've shown before, where you see this model of the flat earth with the sun going around. A lot of people don't understand the flat earth concept, where the sun is much closer to the flat earth. It's not, again, 93 million miles away. People would say, well, the sun would illuminate the whole flat earth. How can we get night and day? Well, again, I'll show that footage. But before I do that, let's take a look at this map here, which I showed before in a previous video, from my 1892 flat earth map that was found in the Boston Public Library. The Gleason's map shows the flat earth again. Now let's take a look here. The very right hand bottom corner, what do you see? It talks about the December solstice, and they show the range of the sun over the flat earth. Now let's take a look with this man with his camcorder during a cruise around Alaska. Take a look at this footage, and you're going to see night and day at the same time.
You probably wouldn't believe this if we didn't show you. Here's on our balcony. It's about 10 o'clock at night. It's almost dark. It's amazing. You can see the moon shining and reflecting brilliantly on the water. But then as you pan to the left, it's actually still daylight over here.
So again, he's demonstrating how you get night and day at the same time. So again, understand, imagine if you're a few thousand miles towards this direction, you're not going to even see darkness whatsoever. So when you see, again, the flat earth model, as I demonstrated here, you'll understand exactly how this is accurate. I want to hear people that believe that we live in a spinning ball that's traveling 70,000 miles an hour, and somehow satellites and ISS travel along with us in the vacuum of space. Explain this. Can't get past the lies of science. They've been blinded by science. And that's what it's about. Now let's take a look at this footage of this woman who recorded the same basic exact thing in a cruise in the Caribbean. Take a look.
Where the night ends.
There's your moon. A little bit darker, but again, you see how it's completely feasible. Again, if you're a few hundred miles, even maybe 1,000 miles, it's going to be completely illuminated sky. And that's what it's all about. People can't see what's taking place because, again, they have been blinded by science. They've been too far down a path of lies to admit that they've been deceived their entire lives. They can't get past it. No evidence is going to wake them up.
Perched on top of us from birth to death are our owners. Our owners. They have us. They control us. They are our masters. Wake up. They have blinded us to the truth.
Even good friends have no answer, beautiful star.
Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear-shaped.
How do you like it? They tell you all the time what to do, what to think, what to feel. Do you want to be like a sheep? Like all those other people, man? Do you understand? That piece of shit up there, I never like him. I never trusted him. This is paradise, I'm telling you.
She blinded me with science.
And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so.
The Force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Talking about mockery, just take a look at this company, Orion Telescope Center, located in Cupertino, California. Take a look at their company logo, and what do you see? Basically, the dome with the flat Earth. These people know the Earth is flat. They are just profiting. Those gullible people that just believe all the lies of science. When the foundation is a lie, everything else after is a lie as well. Here's a closer look at the storefront. Right in front of your face. And here's the dome above the flat Earth. What a complete joke.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness He called night. The evening and the morning were the first day. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And God called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, the gathering together of the waters called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years, and let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And God made two great lights, a greater light to rule the day, and a lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens, in the firmament of the heavens. Then spake Joshua to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou moon in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and hasted not to go down about a whole day. Fear before him all the earth. The world also shall be stable, that it be not moved. The Lord reigneth, he is clothed with majesty. The Lord is clothed with strength, wherewith he hath girded himself. The world also is established, that it cannot be moved. Say among the heathen that the Lord reigneth. The world also shall be established, that it shall not be moved. He shall judge the people righteously. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in. For he looketh to the ends of the earth, and seeth under the whole heaven.
This is a group of social criminals. These people in the space program. Nassholes, I call them.
Space, the final frontier.
Space may be the final frontier, but it's made in a Hollywood basement.
Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating.
Astronauts to the moon. The Force can have a strong influence on the weak-minded.
Conspiracy theorists. They've been crazy, but now they're right.